Welcome to AWS Mastery Labs, turning AWS chaos into clarity with bite-sized tutorials, hands-on labs, and exam-smashing tips. In this video, we'll explore how to get started with AWS Lake Formation, a powerful service that makes it easier to build secure, well-governed data lakes on AWS in days, not months. We'll break down the key concepts behind Lake Formation, walk through its core components like data permissions, LF tags, and governed tables, and show how it integrates with the broader AWS analytics and ML ecosystem. Let's get started. In today's data-driven world, organizations are collecting more data than ever, not just from traditional systems, but from a wide range of sources like IoT devices, web and mobile applications, social media, logs, and third-party APIs. This explosion of data sources is pushing the limits of traditional data management platforms. At the same time, there's a growing demand across teams, from analysts and data scientists to marketing and operations, for timely, self-service access to data. But often, this data is locked away in silos, managed by different teams, stored in inconsistent formats, and governed by fragmented access policies. Adding to the complexity, the types of data we deal with have evolved. It's no longer just structured tables. Now it's semi-structured JSON, nested formats like Parquet, and even unstructured data like images, video, and documents. Traditional data warehouses weren't built for this kind of variety, and trying to shoehorn these formats into rigid schemas slows everything down. That's where data lakes come in. Data lakes allow organizations to store all their data, structured or unstructured, in a centralized, scalable, and cost-effective repository. Using services like Amazon S3, they can scale effortlessly while keeping costs under control. What's more, data lakes support schema on read, which means teams can explore and analyze data without predefined transformations, dramatically reducing the time it takes to go from raw data to actionable insights. And as organizations increasingly turn to machine learning and AI, data lakes provide the granular, raw-level access that modern modeling pipelines require. Data lakes are not just a modern solution, they're a foundational component of any organization's data strategy in the cloud. At its core, Lake Formation is a fully managed service designed to make it easy to build secure, scalable data lakes on AWS. What previously took weeks of manual setup, configuring storage, permissions, catalogs, and access controls, can now be done in just days or even hours. One of its standout features is centralized data governance through a single interface. Instead of juggling permissions across multiple services, Lake Formation allows you to define and enforce access policies from a single control plane, simplifying compliance and improving security posture. Lake Formation also automates the ingestion and cataloging process. Whether you're pulling data from S3, JDBC-compliant databases, or on-prem systems, Lake Formation includes blueprints that guide the extraction and transformation steps. Behind the scenes, it uses AWS Glue crawlers to scan your datasets and populate the Glue data catalog, creating searchable, structured metadata that your analytics tools can use immediately. When it comes to security, Lake Formation moves beyond traditional IAM by introducing Lake Formation tags, or LF tags. These tags provide an abstraction layer that decouples access control from physical data locations, enabling fine-grained security policies at the column and row level, ideal for sensitive or regulated data environments. All of this is built using AWS native services, S3 for storage, Glue for ETL and cataloging, IAM for identity management, and CloudTrail for auditing. So you're leveraging the robustness, scalability, and security of the AWS ecosystem from day one. And finally, Lake Formation integrates seamlessly with AWS analytics and machine learning services like Athena, Redshift Spectrum, SageMaker, EMR, and QuickSight. This means data scientists, analysts, and developers can discover and analyze curated, governed data sets, all without compromising on security or performance. Now let's talk about the key benefits that make AWS Lake Formation a powerful addition to your data architecture. First and foremost, Lake Formation accelerates time to insight. It eliminates the need for repetitive manual steps when it comes to ingesting, cataloging, and securing data. By automating these processes, teams can spend less time wrangling infrastructure and more time generating insights. It also enables multimodal analytics, allowing different teams to query the same governed data using tools tailored to their needs. Analysts can use SQL Athena, data scientists can train models with SageMaker, and engineers can run large-scale Spark jobs on EMR, all on a shared data lake, without having to move or duplicate data. Another huge advantage is data sharing without duplication. With Lake Formation, you can securely share datasets across AWS accounts with business units, partners, or even external customers, while keeping the data in place. This saves time, reduces storage costs, and ensures consistency across consumers. When it comes to security, Lake Formation excels at enforcing least privilege access models. Built-in row and column level permissions allow you to expose only the data each user or role is authorized to see, reducing the risk of overexposure and supporting the principle of data minimization. It also significantly reduces operational overhead. With centralized permissions, shared metadata catalogs, and policy-driven workflows, there's no longer a need for custom scripts, scattered IAM policies, or ad hoc governance. Finally, Lake Formation improves your compliance and governance posture. Every action is logged and auditable, making it easier to meet regulatory requirements like GDPR, HIPAA, or internal security audits, all without bolting third-party tooling. Let's walk through the core concepts that form the foundation of AWS Lake Formation and distinguish it from traditional access models in AWS. First, Lake Formation introduces data lake permissions that are independent of IAM. This means you can define who has access to what data, not just at the S3 bucket level, but down to the database, table, column, and even row level. You can also apply dynamic data filters, so access is tailored to each user or role. At the heart of this system is the AWS Glue Data Catalog. This is where metadata about your datasets lives, including schemas, partition information, and access policies. The catalog acts as a shared, searchable index that allows analytics and machine learning services to find and query data in your lake seamlessly. To scale access management across complex environments, Lake Formation introduces LF tags, or Lake Formation tags. These are metadata labels that you can assign to resources like databases, tables, or columns. With tag-based access control, you define permissions once at the tag level, and they apply automatically to all tagged resources. Lake Formation also provides predefined blueprints and workflows that automate common ETL tasks, such as ingesting from relational databases or transforming and loading data into S3. These templates streamline setup and ensure that governance and lineage are applied consistently from the start. When it comes to sharing data across accounts or business units, resource links play a key role. These are references to shared catalog objects, allowing you to expose a dataset securely in another account without duplicating the underlying data or metadata. And finally, Lake Formation supports ACID-compliant multi-statement transactions for governed tables. This is a critical capability for data lakes, ensuring consistency and reliability when multiple jobs are reading from or writing to the same datasets, especially in streaming or micro-batch environments. When building a data lake using traditional methods, teams often face significant complexity, scattered tooling, and security challenges. AWS Lake Formation addresses these issues by streamlining and centralizing key components. Let's start with setup time. In traditional environments, standing up a secure, governed data lake can take weeks, sometimes months, due to manual configuration and custom code. With Lake Formation, predefined blueprints and guided workflows allow you to spin up a secure data lake in just a few hours. Data sharing is typically complex in traditional setups. Sharing across accounts usually requires duplicating data or engineering custom solutions. Lake Formation allows secure cross-account sharing without moving or duplicating data, using resource links and controlled catalog access. For metadata and cataloging, traditional solutions often rely on ad hoc glue crawlers or manual schema management. Lake Formation integrates metadata cataloging into its ingestion workflows, making your data discoverable and queryable right out of the gate. From an ETL perspective, traditional methods require custom jobs and scripts for every new pipeline. With Lake Formation, you get pre-built blueprints that automate ingestion and transformation with governance baked in. Security and access control is another major area of improvement. Traditionally, access is governed through IAM roles at the bucket or object level, often too broad for enterprise use cases. Lake Formation provides fine-grained control at the table, column, and even row level, and manages it centrally. Managing these permissions manually across services like S3, Glue, Athena, and Redshift is not only error-prone, but also hard to scale. Lake Formation introduces LF tags, which let you define policies once and apply them across multiple datasets through metadata-driven rules. Permissions management scales better too. Instead of updating every dataset manually, you apply LF tags and policies once, and Lake Formation takes care of the rest. Governance and auditing is another major win. Traditionally, you need to track logs separately across services. Lake Formation unifies this with CloudTrail, giving you a centralized audit trail of data access and policy changes. Finally, Lake Formation integrates seamlessly with AWS analytics services like Athena, Redshift Spectrum, EMR, and QuickSight, without additional configuration or duplicated pipelines. Here is an illustration of the Lake Formation solution stack. Let's start from the top, the analytics layer, where data becomes truly valuable. At the forefront is Amazon Athena, enabling serverless, pay-per-query SQL analysis over your data lake. For more complex, petabyte-scale analytical workloads, Amazon Redshift delivers high-performance data warehousing. Amazon QuickSight offers fast, cloud-native business intelligence, letting users visualize trends and derive insights with ease. And right in the middle of it all, AWS Glue orchestrates the heavy lifting, handling extract, transform, and load ETL operations without the burden of infrastructure management. To take it even further, Amazon SageMaker enables advanced machine learning workflows, while Amazon EMR supports large-scale distributed data processing using Apache Spark, Hive, Presto, and Hadoop. Beneath that, we encounter the data management and governance layer, the nerve center of your data lake strategy. Here we find AWS Lake Formation, which acts as the control tower for setting up secure governed data lakes with fine-grained access control. Alongside it, key AWS Glue components shine. Glue blueprints offer templated job flows to get started quickly. Machine learning transforms apply intelligent automation to detect and clean messy data. The Glue data catalog centralizes metadata, making your datasets discoverable and queryable across services. And robust access control mechanisms ensure data governance and compliance without slowing you down. Finally, anchoring the entire ecosystem is Amazon S3, the resilient, scalable object storage that serves as the foundation of your data lake. This is where raw data enters the system, staging areas evolve into curated zones, and structured datasets emerge, ready for downstream analytics, reporting, and AI. Each component is purpose-built to fit into the lifecycle of data, enabling you to capture, cleanse, enrich, and analyze your information, all while enforcing strong security, maintaining governance, and optimizing for cost. The AWS Lake Formation workflow is designed to take the complexity out of building and governing a modern, secure data lake. Let's walk through the key stages. We begin by registering one or more Amazon S3 buckets or prefixes as part of the lake formation. This tells Lake Formation where your data resides and enables governance to be applied across that location. Next, we set up AWS Glue crawlers to scan the data. These crawlers automatically detect schemas and partition structures, and they populate the AWS Glue data catalog. This makes your data discoverable and queryable by a wide range of AWS services. Once the metadata is in place, we define access control using Lake Formation tags or LF tags and permissions. These can be applied to databases, tables, columns, or even rows. Whether you're using tag-based policies or direct grants, this allows for fine-grained, centralized access control tailored to your organization's needs. Now that permissions are set, Lake Formation makes it easy to share datasets securely across accounts or business units using resource links. This eliminates the need to duplicate data or manage complex custom IAM roles. With access control and sharing in place, we can move on to orchestrating ETL pipelines. Lake Formation provides built-in blueprints and workflows that automate ingestion, transformation, and loading of data, while preserving governance and tracking lineage. Finally, once your data is cataloged, secured, and processed, it's ready for use. Lake Formation integrates natively with analytics and machine learning services like Amazon Athena, Redshift Spectrum, EMR, SageMaker, and QuickSight, letting your teams query, visualize, and model data without any additional configuration. Governed tables in AWS Lake Formation bring a new level of reliability and control to data lakes by introducing database-like transactional behavior directly into your S3-backed storage. First and foremost, governed tables support ACID transactions, which means your data operations are atomic, consistent, isolated, and durable. This ensures reliability, even in highly concurrent environments where multiple users or jobs may be accessing the same datasets. With ACID compliance in place, you can now perform batch operations and transactional workflows that involve multiple actions, like inserts, updates, and deletes, all in a single logical unit. This is essential for maintaining data integrity in complex pipelines. Another powerful feature is time travel and rollback. This lets you query historical versions of your dataset or revert to a previous state if something goes wrong. A huge benefit for data debugging, auditing, or backtesting models. Governed tables also optimize storage and improve query performance. Behind the scenes, Lake Formation automatically compacts small files and manages partitions, helping you avoid the classic performance pitfalls of data lakes without additional manual tuning. Finally, governed tables are designed with change in mind. They support schema evolution, meaning you can modify the structure of your tables, like adding or removing columns, without breaking downstream consumers or workflows. When building and operating a data lake with AWS Lake Formation, it's crucial to strike the right balance between cost efficiency and performance. Let's start with storage costs. Lake Formation stores data in Amazon S3, which offers a range of storage classes. By using S3 lifecycle policies, you can automatically transition infrequently accessed data to lower cost tiers like S3 Infrequent Access or Glacier, reducing long-term storage expenses. Next, consider query costs, especially with services like Amazon Athena or Redshift Spectrum, where you're billed per terabyte scanned. To minimize this, structure your data using efficient columnar formats such as Parquet or ORC, and apply smart partitioning strategies to limit how much data is read during a query. Another tip, apply compression to your datasets. Formats like Snappy or ZTSD reduce both storage footprint and scan time, further optimizing both cost and performance. Keep an eye on your Glue data catalog and crawler usage. Crawlers can be configured to scan only relevant data, and by scheduling them thoughtfully or reusing existing catalog entries, you can avoid unnecessary processing and associated charges. Also, be mindful of data transfer costs, especially when data moves across regions or services. Design your architecture to keep analytics workloads in region to reduce latency and avoid hefty transfer fees. For high-frequency workloads, consider caching mechanisms. Athena's result caching and Redshift Spectrum's data cache can help you avoid rescanning data, improving response times, and reducing cost. To get better visibility into your cloud spend, tag your resources. Assign tags to S3 buckets, Glue jobs, and Lake Formation components, and use AWS cost allocation reports to track usage by project or team. And finally, if you're using governed tables, take advantage of automatic compaction and partition optimization. These features enhance performance while maintaining cost predictability, especially for large-scale dynamic datasets. One of the most powerful aspects of AWS Lake Formation is how seamlessly it integrates with the broader AWS ecosystem. Let's start with Amazon Athena, a serverless pay-per-query engine. With Athena, users can directly run SQL queries on Lake Formation governed datasets in S3, all without managing infrastructure. And thanks to Lake Formation's fine-grained access controls, you can be confident that users only see the data they're authorized to access. Amazon Redshift Spectrum takes this further. It enables Redshift users to join warehouse data with curated lake data across S3, ideal for federated queries that need to blend real-time and historical insights. On the machine learning side, Amazon SageMaker integrates tightly with Lake Formation. Data scientists can build, train, and deploy models using secure curated datasets, ensuring that sensitive data remains protected and access is auditable. When it comes to heavy-duty processing, Amazon EMR enables scalable Spark and Hadoop workloads on Lake Formation data. Whether you're doing batch ETL or running interactive notebooks, EMR respects Lake Formation's access controls down to the column level. AWS Glue brings it all together from a data engineering perspective. You can run ETL jobs or work interactively in notebooks, transforming and preparing data while Lake Formation ensures security and lineage. For business users, Amazon QuickSight allows you to create dashboards and visualizations directly on governed tables, preserving data security all the way through to the end user insights. Instead of duplicating policies across each service, you define centralized access control once in Lake Formation, and it's enforced across Athena, Redshift Spectrum, SageMaker, EMR, and more. And of course, all of this activity is auditable. With AWS CloudTrail and the Glue Data Catalog, every query, transformation, and access is logged, so you can track data movement, ensure compliance, and maintain trust. AWS Lake Formation offers a deeply integrated and fine-grained security model tailored for enterprise-grade data governance. At the heart of this model is the ability to enforce fine-grained access control down to specific columns and even rows in a dataset. This ensures users only see the data they're authorized to access, aligning perfectly with zero trust principles. This capability is especially powerful in multi-tenant scenarios. You can isolate customer or business unit data using row-level filters and role-based access control without duplicating datasets or provisioning separate environments. Access policies are simplified and made scalable using LF tags or lake formation tags. These tags are metadata labels applied to resources like databases, tables, or columns, allowing administrators to define access policies in a logical, reusable way. What's more, Lake Formation enforces these policies consistently across AWS Analytics services, including Athena, Redshift Spectrum, EMR, and Glue. No need to manage separate access layers. The same security rules follow the data wherever it's accessed. Lake Formation also supports attribute-based access control, ABAC. This allows permissions to be defined dynamically based on attributes attached to users and data, enabling flexible, scalable, and context-aware access patterns. For secure federated access, Lake Formation issues temporary credentials through its APIs, minimizing the need for long-lived secrets and reducing the attack surface. Lake Formation integrates seamlessly with AWS IAM and Microsoft Active Directory, giving you the flexibility to manage identities and roles using existing enterprise infrastructure. And finally, every action and access decision is logged centrally using AWS CloudTrail. This provides a full audit trail of who accessed what data, when, and how, critical for compliance, troubleshooting, and governance reporting. When it comes to pricing, AWS Lake Formation is unique in that the control plane, the interface, and governance layer is free to use. That means defining access policies, tagging data with LF tags, or creating resource links comes at no additional cost. However, the costs start to show up in the underlying AWS services that Lake Formation orchestrates. First and foremost, Amazon S3 serves as the backbone for your data lake. Storage charges follow standard S3 pricing tiers, and for long-lived or infrequently accessed data, using intelligent tiering or S3 Glacier can lead to significant savings. For querying data, services like Amazon Athena and Redshift Spectrum charge based on the amount of data scanned, so well-partitioned datasets and the use of column-level filtering can drastically reduce costs. AWS Glue is another key component. While the first million objects in the Glue Data Catalog are free, beyond that, you'll be charged based on the number of objects and requests. Running Glue crawlers and ETL jobs also incurs per-second compute charges, depending on the size and complexity of the jobs. Data movement is another often overlooked cost. If your architecture spans multiple regions or VPCs, data transfer costs may apply, especially when querying or copying data across boundaries. Governed tables support ACID transactions and background file compaction without incurring direct fees. But the storage and compute resources they rely on will affect your overall costs. And finally, while Lake Formation integrates seamlessly with services like QuickSight, SageMaker, EMR, and Athena, each of these services has its own pricing model, so usage here should be factored into your total data lake TCO. The key takeaway? Lake Formation itself doesn't cost you extra, but how you design and use the broader data ecosystem around it will define your spend. Optimize smartly, and you get both performance and savings. AWS Lake Formation is designed to solve some of the most pressing challenges in modern data architecture, and its use cases reflect that versatility. One of the most common scenarios is the rapid creation of a centralized data lake, where you can ingest and unify structured and unstructured data from databases, log files, on-prem sources, and cloud-native services, all into a single, governed repository. With fine-grained data access control, lake formation makes it easy to define who can see what, right down to specific rows and columns. This is especially valuable for organizations that need to comply with strict privacy and access control policies. It's also ideal for multi-tenant platforms, enabling secure data isolation between departments, customers, or business units using row-level filters and LF tags. Lake Formation supports secure data sharing across AWS accounts or with external partners, without duplicating or moving data. That means your teams and collaborators can access real-time trusted datasets wherever they are. On the data engineering side, Lake Formation simplifies ETL and onboarding through Glue blueprints and workflows, making it easier to automate the discovery, transformation, and cataloging of incoming data. It also empowers self-service analytics and machine learning, allowing analysts and data scientists to securely explore curated datasets using tools like Athena, Redshift Spectrum, SageMaker, and QuickSight. And as enterprises increasingly operate in hybrid and multi-cloud environments, Lake Formation can extend governance to external sources using federated queries and connectors, helping maintain control and visibility over distributed data. Thank you for joining us in this video. If you haven't already, we'd love for you to subscribe to our channel to stay updated with our latest content. We look forward to sharing more insights with you in another video. Until then, keep exploring. And thank you for watching.